Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who do rule well, teach this truth in all honesty and sincerity. And salutations to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that risk this truth, that risk their lives, Salakia, to push this truth and their freedom in diligence and all sincerity. Something happened here in St. Louis, East St. Louis. A state trooper was shot and later died. At the hospital by Jake. Now it's some suspicion around that. Why was a state trooper serving warrants or whatever? That's what the sheriffs do. So you heard things. Well, it's a lot of dirty cops, and dirty law enforcement. We know that, and saying that a number of things could have went on with that, but however, the state trooper was shot and later died in the hospital, and it was at the hand of a Jake, and that was all through the Spirit of the Lord. And God, most likely a 2/3 involved in wickedness, But however, Esau was taken down by Jake, and what I wanted to get into on that was the wrath that Esau brought down on this Jake, man. They brought out the battering rams. They brought out the SWAT trucks. They brought out the fire trucks, and after they bulldozed the house down, that the two suspects was taken into custody, and one was still hiding in the house, and they bulldozed the house down and on him, and flooded the house with the fire hose, and when they got Jay, they most likely beat his ass too, because this law enforcement, which is ran by Esau, they can whoop Jake ass all day, all night, kill him, everything. And when one of theirs get even punched or whatever, they go nuts. And that's they use that as an excuse or whatever to basically show how much they hate Jake. Which, the Most High got them in power, so you supposed to, adhere to the authority set up by the Most High. But man, they fuck Jake up, man, when they get that chance to, man. Man, it was just, but that shows you that Esau is waiting to fucking roll on you, man. Especially in the hood, man. Esau is waiting to roll on you, man. Any little thing, and this event just might be the turn of what is going to lead into Jacob's trouble around her, man. Because, man, that brought him out. That brought him out. Streets were shut down. Man, they bulldozed the house down on this man just for one Jake. So imagine what these devils gonna do when all hell break loose, or when martial law break loose. Ferguson, that wasn't nothing. It's a mixed multitude over there. But in the hood, where it's just straight Jake, oh man, they gonna let loose. But I want to get Ezekiel 35. And yep, and 6. But I'm gonna start at 5. And it reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And it goes on to say he's going to lay desolate Mount Seir, which is the habitation where Esau dwells, and that's coming. But all these times Jake has been into it with the law. They really don't too much shoot back at law enforcement. Jake will run. Jake will try to get away. But now you have it that they opening up on law enforcement. Salakia for the lighting. I'm gonna change it. Salakia, I'm trying to use the last little bit of sunlight, but anyhow, yeah. Jake usually try to get away, man, but this time he bust back and end up killing the man. And so that opened up a whole can of worms in the hood because all they need is just a tiny bit of excuse to get on your ass, Jake, or our ass, I should say. But and that's a perfect example of the Lord using the wicked to take out the wicked. And most of the times it's been Esau wicked taking out wicked 2/3, but now you got the 2/3 taking out Esau. You know, um, and it all stems back from the book of Genesis when Esau and Jacob were born. But they were wrestling in the womb. These were two nations that were never meant to dwell with each other. So why is it so hard to see that? As long as Esau and Jacob is around each other, it's gonna be this way. As long as these devils are over us, as long as wickedness is persevering in the land, that it's gonna be a constant until the kingdom come, until righteous order is set up. That's what you're gonna have. But now you have Jake rising up, man, and it's these 2/3, man. They gonna be doing shit. This generation is not that same docile generation that you had in the 40s, 50s, and on after. Like they really they'll die behind being tempted, But that's the spirit that the Most High put on them, because all this is by His time, is on His time, His how He see fit. This is His movie. This is Genesis chapter 27. And verse 41. I'm going to start at verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, talking to Esau, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, like in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So that stems from that back then. Esau hated Jacob, and he vowed to kill his brother Jacob. And that same hatred has passed down generation to generation. And it's the same way. It's the same way. Um, I'm going to hop over to chapter 28. Uh, Salakia. Salakia, not what I wanted. Uh, I'm gonna jump to Amos, and this man, telling you, man, these law enforcement around here, man, they always have Esau patrolling Jake neighborhoods, man. Like even in the hood, like you have certain of these neighborhoods around here, you don't even have regular police. You have like sheriffs and deputies that patrol this certain area. You know, cause Jake, I remember a time that it was Jake would shoot at the police when they come. You know, so the local law enforcement gave that over to the deputy sheriffs to patrol, or they took that over. So it has been things happening, and this one with all the tension and the time clock running down, this might be what makes Esau just really lose it, and really just take every opportunity that he can to bust Jake ass. Um, this is the book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. And that Teman represents those Germans, the mighty men of Teman. Those are those Germans, the warriors, or I should say the brute of the Edomites, the brains. And that goes into the World War III when they send those nukes. That's the fire that the Most High is talking about, and that's shortly to come to pass. I'm gonna jump back to Revelations. There we go, 12 and 12. Therefore, and it reads, therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And that's talking about Israel, and particularly the tribe of Judah. All Israel is catching hell. But Judah, man, they really have it out for Judah because that's the tribe that the Lord came out of, and they hate the image of us, man. They hate what we look like because when you see a so-called black man or a Judite, a Jew, a true Jew with an afro and a beard, they lose their minds, man. They lose their minds. I remember a time, real quick, not to get off topic, but I went to go buy chains in a hardware store, not a hardware store, but like a store that sells those type of things, and I was walking through the aisles because I was gonna put it on my dog to chain him up or whatever, and I'm walking through the aisles, and these older Edomites, man, they were moving out the way like they were terrified seeing a dark skinned man, big afro, my beard was bigger, walking through the aisle with chains, man. They were moving the fuck out the way, man. And that was so spiritual to me because it let me know that they know something in their spirit. They know something. They know that they guilty, and they probably heard, and I know they heard. Brothers is all around the world, man, teaching this truth, and they can't have no. They don't have a choice but to hear it. So these devils is terrified, and like anything when they any creature is facing persecution or cornered or backed into a corner, they lash out. And the same for Jake, as case in point, you know. And Esau, furthermore, on a bigger, on a different level, because he's committed all sorts of wickedness, so he know that he had to pay for that. Some in their spirit tell them that you're not getting away with this, but as long as nothing been happening, they just continue their wickedness. But they know. Uh, I'm gonna end it with Romans chapter 9 and verse 13, and this plays into a part why they hate us. They can't wage war with the Most High. They're saying your arm's too short to box with God. So who you think they're gonna take it out on? His people. Um, I'm gonna start at verse 13. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. And that's why these, elites, man, that's why they do what they do, man, because they know that it ain't no chance for them. They gonna be as wicked as they can be to perfection. But I hope this lesson was edifying. And I'm gonna say Shalom and a Baba Bar. Kwam Yasharala.